Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes.
I'm student meteorologist Colby Pope, and really nice conditions we had across the area today. We were enjoying those mid-80s, really a lot of sunshine.
Beautiful day. It was very warm though outside. I did break out in a little sweat walking to and from class today. So it's a good idea to keep your water bottle on hand over the next few days as these warm temperatures are going to linger a bit.
Yeah, so it's real nice. We've got an area of high pressure that's really dominating the area and really giving us some nice conditions today. And then it's our last Tuesday show of the spring semester. So it's been definitely been an honor having Brittany doing the team leading, and we have a really great show for today. I know we're talking about a lot of stuff. We've got this nice weather. That's really the story, though, line of the show. Wouldn't you agree?
For Tallahassee especially, the nice weather's going to be here. But later in the show, our other student meteorologist will be talking about the severe weather returning to the southeast as that front begins to push its way towards the southeast.
Yeah, I think I saw where Friday will have to really a lot of changes start to happen Thursday into Friday, so we'll have to watch that. I know we've got a lot of family coming into town. I know we have some graduation ceremonies possibly next week, so for some students, so definitely a lot to talk about here, and it's getting exciting here at the end of the semester. So really surreal and a lot of feelings, you know, here at the end.
And later on in the show, we're going to have Jake and Colleen talk about the EF0 tornado that touched down last Friday when we had that bout of severe weather. And then be sure to watch the rest of the show for your full 7-day forecast and for these interesting desk topics for this Tuesday edition of FSU Weather. But for now, we're going to pass things off to the wall with Melissa for the overview.
The day we got to And as the day continued, it's green, yeah. I don't know how to Sorry about that, a little bit of a technical glitch for the moment. But as I was saying, throughout the day, we maintained these beautiful sunshiny conditions that we got to enjoy. And that will stick around till probably Thursday p.m. And we will explore that further in the show. But currently, let's take a look at the almanac. So typically, we're pretty seasonal for this time of year. We average 82. Today's high is 87, was a little bit higher than usual, but a record of 91, so nowhere near the record. Low of 48 typically is our record. Average 54, record's 31, today we averaged 48. Tonight though, you can expect a mild 56 with partly cloudy conditions, winds from the west-northwest at 3 miles per hour. And look at our national, we maintain these conditions throughout the day, this front bringing us our weather we will see later in the week. And as we continue in the show, we'll explore the warm and sunny tomorrow, rain chances beginning Thursday p.m., and dry conditions to return from the weekend for us to enjoy. For now though, I'm going to hand it off to Zach for a more detailed look at our local.
Thank you, Melissa. So we're going to take a look out here at our Doak Campbell Stadium cam in a minute once we get these graphics up and running here. We're seeing nice and clear conditions, sunny skies, partly cloudy out there, so the conditions are real nice if you're out next door for that baseball game over next to the stadium. So currently it's 85 degrees outside, partly cloudy, winds are out of the south at 11 miles per hour. We're seeing sunny skies everywhere, but we're seeing a few clouds over here in Tallahassee. We're seeing 85 here in Tallahassee, a little bit cooler down by the coast over here in Apalachicola at 74 degrees, sunny skies there as well. So our dew points, we're feeling pretty comfortable here in Tallahassee, 56 degree dew point here in Tallahassee, and that means we're seeing big old smiley faces all across our region on the Muggy meter here. Smiley here in Tallahassee, some smileys down there in Apalachicola, the entire region very comfortable today. Taking a look at the satellite and radar, we're seeing a few little tiny patches, but overall we're seeing those sunny skies out there, a few clouds creeping in every once in a while, but very nice conditions out there today. And for our national view, we're seeing a low pressure system down here towards Texas along with a cold front, and that's going to be pushing through our area into Friday and into Thursday night. So Thursday night into Friday morning, you might be waking up to a few rumbles of thunder out there, but it might not be too severe, just small thunderstorm. And looking at your dog walking forecast for tomorrow, if you want to get out of bed and wake up and walk your dog out before you get to class, we're seeing 60 degrees waking up at 7 a.m. And as you go through your day, you're going to see 77 by 11 a.m. And tonight's forecast, we're getting down to 57 degrees here in Tallahassee, and we're going to stay around the mid to upper 50s for most of our region. And looking at our week ahead, we're seeing a high of 86 tomorrow, and we're going to start to see the lows creep up into those 60s, but then this system that comes through Friday is going to be pushing through and making a little bit of a cold drop associated with a cold front, but we're only feeling that into Friday, and then waking up Saturday, we're going to warm up into 85 degrees and 86 through the rest of the week. I will now pass it off to Colleen.
Thanks, Zach. Now we're going to take a wider view at the southeast. We do have sunny conditions across the whole southeast, all the way down in Miami, still at 79, 80 degrees in Tampa. Over by the Panhandle, you get a little bit cooler as you see those clouds begin to move into the area. Now you can thank all this dry air for bringing in sunny conditions over the past few days, but that is yet to change. You see all this wave of moisture affecting into Houston and Dallas, and that is going to enhance the risk for some severe weather going over the next few days across the southwest over into our region. Currently, we're sitting fairly comfortable across the whole region of Florida, 56 for the dew point, all the way down in Miami, feeling very comfortable. But you see the jump over further west, that moisture begins to raise the dew point. Now, satellite radar, this is what is going on right now. This high pressure is dominating the southeast, but this front is beginning to form and move its way over into our region. Now, that can enhance over the next few days. You see this wave of showers going into Tuesday, and this can do some severe weather going into tomorrow from Houston all the way up to Dallas. Jump it over next 24 hours, the storm outlook chance for severe weather will shift a little bit east over the Louisiana region specifically, and that branches all the way out. You see from Raleigh all the way to Dallas, they're still in some risk for some severe weather, but it will be slight. And over the next 24 hours, let's time it out right now when you can expect the storms. Wednesday morning, central Houston, which should expect the showers. Going into the evening, you see those showers begin to move over. And look at how it enhances. Going into Thursday morning, north of New Orleans, south of Jackson will experience these heavy showers. And it will even ramp up even more. Going into the night, 6 p.m., that branch of showers will effect its way over into our region. Now tonight you can expect temperatures around 57 in Tallahassee, 58 in Jacksonville, going a little bit hotter down south with 72 in Key West. You do see a little bit cooler temperatures over in Little Rock at 62. Tomorrow you can expect temperatures still 85. We're almost hitting the record at 87 today. So we're not going to see that hot temperatures tomorrow. 85 in Tallahassee, 88 in Orlando, going down to the coast, 82 in Miami, 81 in New Orleans for tomorrow's forecast. But now I'm going to send things off to the desk with Melissa and Michael.
Thanks, Colleen. And so you just saw Colleen talk about the severe weather threat expected for Texas and Mississippi River Valley these next 2 days, and
Yes.
so we're going to go a little bit more into that.
Yeah, and that is supposed to move into the Louisiana territory starting tomorrow, Wednesday.
Yeah, so it starts tonight really in central Texas. Cities include Dallas, Midland, San Angelo. With the highest risk out towards San Angelo with that slight risk, Dallas, the metro area, is under a marginal risk, so the chances of severe weather just a little bit lower over there. But as we go into tonight and into tomorrow morning, Dallas and that I-35 corridor down towards Austin and San Antonio have to watch out for some flooding.
Yes, and New Orleans is going to be on the slight edge of just the chances for thunderstorms. They are on the outside of the marginal and level 2 out of 5 risk slight for tomorrow.
Yeah, for Wednesday, the slight risk is mainly for Austin, San Antonio, Houston, that I-10 corridor down towards Texas. That's where the chance for severe weather will be highest. So again, the main risk with these storms will be hail and some damaging winds, but you can't rule out a tornado.
Yeah, so if you have keep easy access to warnings that can get you severe weather threats. into your immediate surrounding as soon as
Yeah.
possible. So weather radios, activate your warnings on your cell phones. It'll come straight to you if severe weather enters your neighborhood.
Yeah, and as we go into like around the Louisiana-Texas border, that's really when it gets into the overnight hours. And finally, for Thursday, New Orleans will have to watch out. They will have the higher severe risk. Baton Rouge, again, is under that slight risk as well. And then a little bit less as you go outside of that in Jackson, Biloxi, and Mobile.
Yeah, but it looks like northwestern Florida, even tomorrow evening, Pensacola is in that marginal territory. So you want to keep an eye out for severe weather in that region as well.
Yeah, New Orleans does have to watch out for Thursday. There is the Zurich Classic of New Orleans down there on the Thursday for the opening round. So there might be some substantial delays for that.
Now
for
that's-
Tallahassee, it's going to be Friday.
Now that's golf, the Zero Classic?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Make sure just for some of our viewers that might not be aware of that.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then again for Tallahassee and the rest of the Southeast, looks like the severe threat will be lower on that Friday, but still expect some storms for the end of the work
A
week.
little bit of deja vu Thursday evening.
Yep, exactly. And now we're going to send off to Jake with our national forecast.
Well, thanks, guys. You guys have been talking about the severe risk for the next couple of days across the southeastern portion of the country. We'll break down what's going on right now in portions of Texas in just a second. Let's start off with our temperatures across the country, showing you this really well-defined warm sector that we're seeing across the southeast, stretching all the way down from the mid-Atlantic states, Washington, D.C., portions of Maryland and Delaware, getting all the way up to 80 degrees, and that stretches all the way down into the Sunshine State, where, of course, you expect that heat this time of year. Also very warm off to the west. You see 87 degrees in San Francisco, which is a little bit unseasonable for what they expect this time of year. Also, we see evidence of this cold front here across the center of the country, as you see in this contrast in the dew points. These green colors indicating higher values of dew point, more moisture in the air. A 67-degree dew point in San Antonio. Make the drive up Interstate 35 towards Dallas-Fort Worth. We're at 64 degrees on that dew point, but as you go up towards Kansas and Nebraska, much drier air beginning to settle in the wake of that cold front. So we'll see that right now. You see that low currently centered over the lower peninsula of Michigan and draping all the way down into western Texas here. And you see the little lightning bolts here in northern Texas here, and that's indicating some of these strong thunderstorms that are already starting to develop to the west of Dallas as you go towards areas like Abilene, a little bit to the south of Lubbock out there. Some supercell thunderstorms beginning to develop, and these are dropping some big-time hail. That is one of the concerns that we have for tonight. Isolated, very large hail is a possibility with some of these storms, as well as the threat of some gusty winds out there. Not really too much of a tornado threat, thankfully. But as we go off towards the northeast here, we're seeing some pretty big rainfall also moving in through Quebec and Ontario and Canada, stretching down through New York, and especially some embedded thunderstorms in southern Pennsylvania with some of that rainfall that you're seeing down there. So some pretty heavy rain falling in some of these locations in the northeast, sweeping pretty quickly from west to east, however. So hopefully some of these areas will be seeing the rain taper down pretty soon once we get towards the nighttime hours. And again, this is the main area that we're looking at. Some supercell storms beginning to develop with that afternoon heating as we go off towards Dallas and areas off to the west, even by San Angelo, and a little bit to the south of Lubbock here. You're starting to see some very strong storms with even those pink values in the reflectivity, which are an indicator of potential hail in some of these thunderstorms. And we could see the possibility of hail reaching golf ball, maybe even baseball size in some of these thunderstorms later on into the evening hours here. So again, over the next 24 hours, these strong storms are going to be located over central Texas, and as we work in towards tomorrow, that threat really slides off to the southeast a little bit more and begins to include portions of western Louisiana, as they were alluding to a little bit earlier here. Could see some scattered storms along this frontal system stretching all the way up into the Ohio River Valley. Areas like Evansville and portions of southern Illinois could see some pretty strong rain in those areas, while a high will develop in the wake of that front over the lower peninsula of Michigan and other portions of the Great Lakes. But for tomorrow, again, that severe threat begins to slide a little bit south. The biggest metro area included is Houston. Austin and San Antonio also going to be part of that slight risk level 2 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. And once again, damaging winds and large hail are primary threats with this system as it begins to march off towards the east, as Melissa and Michael were just alluding to. New Orleans and Baton Rouge being the biggest metro areas included in the slight risk for Thursday here as we work towards the later portion of the week. We'll see how that goes once we go towards Friday, but that severe threat should be diminishing a little bit as this system continues to slide off towards the east. So Tallahassee hopefully will not be seeing anything like we saw last Friday, because obviously that was a very busy time for us and we don't want to have any repeats of that around here. But as for tonight, those storms will continue across Texas. 62 degrees in Dallas-Fort Worth, 66 down in San Antonio. Partly cloudy skies sticking around a little bit closer to home and heating up, or the heat really sticks around for other portions of the southeast tomorrow. Tallahassee at 85 degrees. Tampa, if we get on the Florida Peninsula, getting up to about 86. But now let's go back to Tallahassee with Sloan.
Thanks, Jay. Right there, we do see the sun over Doak. Beautiful sunset ahead of us this evening at about 8 p.m. But for now, clear skies to linger as those clouds we see start to come back into Tallahassee. Currently, it is 85 degrees, and again, as I said, those clouds are coming into Tallahassee, and we have a southerly wind at about 11 miles per hour. Temperatures, though, for the Big Bend are hot. 85 degrees in Tallahassee, 82 in Perry, 86 in Valdosta. Apalachicola, though, sitting there a bit cooler at 74. As I have that sea breeze coming onshore right now, cooling them off, and that's somewhere I would rather be than sitting here at 85 at about 6 p.m. Here's the southerly winds we have been talking about, bringing that moisture onshore, causing us to have higher dew points than we had the other day when we were a bit more dry, as that high pressure system was sitting right over Tallahassee, but 9 miles per hour St. Mark, 6 in Monticello, and 6 in Bainbridge. So light winds right now, nothing too heavy, but again, the southerly winds in Apalachicola are just causing it to be a bit cooler than us. Dew points 56 in Tallahassee. Not too bad for us right now, not causing us to feel like we're hotter than we are. We're sticking to our true temperature right now in Tallahassee, sitting at 85, not any warmer. I know it felt warmer today, but it was only about 86 degrees as our high. Again, nothing is happening on the satellite and radar. Not a lot to talk about otherwise for us here in the Big Bend. We have those clouds starting to creep over, some showers popping up here or there, but nothing out of the ordinary. But the biggest story, as Jake was just mentioning, is this front coming into the southeast, bringing that slight risk of severe weather into Louisiana area, but hopefully diminishing by the time it reaches us on Friday as this high pressure system begins to move off into the Atlantic, causing our favorable conditions to end for about 2 days. Tonight in Tallahassee, though, 56 degrees and partly cloudy conditions. So if we go into our stargazing forecast, might not be the best night to go outside and try to look at the stars. We have those increasing clouds coming in, causing the vision not to be so great, but that temperature is about 56 degrees. But if you would like to go outside when it is dark out, the sun is setting at about 8:10 p.m. with the sunrise at about 7:02 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you're going to go walk your dog in the morning, 60 degrees at 7 a.m. and then 67 by 9, and then we're going to be closer to 80 by 11 at 77 degrees. And we see the clouds sort of diminishing a bit as the day goes on, but we'll have some cloud cover here or there. But looking at the next 7 days, we see the showers coming into the picture Thursday late at night and then Friday early morning, but causing to open us up for a beautiful weekend with those warm temperatures continuing. We are not breaking 80 degrees for our high. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to Jake and Colleen, who will be talking about the tornado that touched down last week in Leon County.
Yeah, last Friday during that severe weather outbreak, there was a confirmed EF0 tornado that touched down in the forest of the Apalachicola.
Yeah, so this touchdown in Liberty County off to our southwest, once again, as Colleen just said, in the Apalachicola National Forest. So thankfully, not in a very populated area by any stretch of the imagination. However, this tornado, albeit a weak one, actually was able to span through 3 counties and did make its way into Leon County last Friday morning.
Yeah, actually, it tracked over 18 miles. And this is considered a very weak tornado. If you're unsure what an EF0 tornado is, it is the weakest on the scale.
Yeah, so peak winds were estimated at 75 miles per hour. Of course, it's very difficult to measure actual winds from a tornado, so this estimation is done by the National Weather Service, which is, of course, located in our building here in the Love Building, and they use the damage from these storms to basically get an estimate of how intense the tornado was. And something else notable from this, it was actually our second tornado in Leon County this year.
Yeah, it was our second tornado. The last one was about a month ago, March 3rd. March 3rd.
If you remember the EF3 tornado that touched down just off to the northeast of Tallahassee in just north of Interstate 10. So there's really only been 3 other years on record. It's time for me to get in the stats time, right? 3 other years on record where we've had multiple tornadoes in the same year in Leon County, 1972, 1989, and 2009. This is only the second time ever out of all 4 of those times where we've had 2 tornadoes from separate events. Basically, 72 and 89, those 2 tornadoes that occurred those days were from the same day.
I guess it's safe to say that it has been a very active year for the Southeast when it comes to tornadoes and that severe weather. Every week there's outlooks that are popping up, so make sure to stay updated to make sure that this weekend you're not in the area where there could be a possible tornado. But now we're going to send things off back to the wall.
Thanks, Jake and Colleen. And luckily, it's been a pretty quiet span these last few days, ever since Friday. And we really enjoyed it in the Sunshine State. Another warm day out there. A little cooler up towards Pensacola, 73 degrees with that onshore flow coming up the Gulf of Mexico. But in the inland areas, we did get up into the middle and upper 80s today. 85 in Tallahassee, their high was at 87. Also 85 in Gainesville, and then a little bit cooler down towards the South Florida with 77 in West Palm Beach and 79 in Miami. You can notice where high pressure is based on the winds, with the center just south of Apalachicola. Southerly winds in Pensacola, that's the reason for the cooler conditions out there in the low 70s. But 7 miles per hour in Tallahassee, and then a little bit of an east wind out towards the eastern-facing beaches of Florida with 11 in Orlando and 9 in West Palm Beach. Now the dew points, with the southerly flow in Pensacola, dew points are a little bit higher compared to this time yesterday with a 60-degree dew point in Pensacola. And you can notice how the moisture just increasing just a little bit for the rest of the peninsula, with 53 in Orlando, 57 in Fort Myers, and 50 in Miami. But compared to the summer days we usually get out of here, much more comfortable than what we're used to. And so with our muggy meter, it is honestly all smiley faces out there, and really enjoy it before those changes really do come as we go into Thursday, and especially into Thursday night ahead of that frontal system back towards Texas that will arrive to our area going into late Thursday and early Friday. And there's the frontal system we're talking about, which is giving hail and some severe weather out towards central Texas. It will move through the Mississippi River Valley as we go into Thursday, and as high pressure moves off towards the Atlantic, we'll get our rain chance returning only for one day though, again on Friday, but it's really setting up for a nice weekend to end the month of April. And for your drought monitor, the Panhandle is getting a little bit too dry. It's been a very dry start for 2019, and so we do have a little bit of a moderate drought out towards Pensacola. So we do need the rain, and it will eventually come once we get those diurnal showers and thunderstorms for the summer months. So eventually this drought should be easing up for the next few months. But for tonight's forecast, another cool-ish night for Florida standards. 57 degrees in Tallahassee under partly cloudy skies, 57 in Gainesville as well, except for South Florida with the little bit of the humidity returning and you're right along the coast. Temperatures only in the middle 60s as your low, 67 in West Palm Beach and 68 in Miami. And for tomorrow, another warm one out there. Should be pretty similar to what we expected today, and might have a few places like Gainesville at 90 degrees, cracking that 90-degree mark. A lot of places down the spine of the peninsula should be able to break that 90-degree mark if they do get the sun out and about. But we're going to send it off to Colby now to zoom back into Tallahassee.
Hey, thanks, Michael. And zooming back into Tallahassee, we're actually going to take things over to Panama City right quick, where you can see the abundant sunshine, really nice conditions. If you're going to be down on the water, oh man, this is one of those days where you don't want to be in class. You want to be down at the beach, because we've had wonderful temperatures today. We've been in the mid-80s. We made it actually up to 87 officially in Tallahassee. A little bit warmer than what we're expecting this time of the year. Average sitting right there at 82. The low temperature, though, we did drop in the upper 40s this morning, so we did start our morning off a little bit cool, but things really rebounded nicely. You can see that there in the mid-80s all across the Big Bend region, except Apalachicola, a little onshore flow, keeping things very cool down there. So they've only been in the mid-70s there, 74, but sunshine all around. That's really great to see across the area. Dry conditions, 56-degree dew point here in Tallahassee, 50 over in Quincy, a little more onshore flow, bringing in that moisture there at Apalachicola, and it's really all helped by this high pressure system that's bringing that onshore flow to places like Apalachicola, a little further off to the west toward Pensacola as well. That onshore flow really giving us calm weather conditions all across the Big Bend. It's really been wonderful. Hope you've had the opportunity to enjoy it. And no showers to even speak of on the looking at the Big Bend right now all across the area. A couple rogue showers up toward Dothan. That's probably a little bit of reflectivity, a little bit of radar noise there. Some high clouds, though, that have started to move into the area from the west. They're coming right down I-10 from Defuniak Springs there. Zooming out, our next weather maker on the horizon there, that cold front, and that was what Jake was alluding to earlier in the National, stretching all the way from the Great Lakes region all the way back down into West Texas, providing some big hailers out there. So we're not dealing with anything like that. I love to give the good news, the nice conditions tonight. Mid-50s, 56 going to be the low, and partly cloudy skies, nice light wind there at 3 miles per hour. As you're planning your day off tomorrow, looking nice. Low 60s as we start our morning at 8 a.m. You're walking to class, but things really warm up quickly. By noon, we're already pushing 80, 81 degrees there. And by the afternoon, look at that, 86 to end the day there. Really nice. Again, wish I didn't have to go to class. I wish I could be down at the beach instead, maybe sneaking a little trip to Alligator Point. And here's that week, mid-80s continue, but we have to really watch out Thursday into Fridays where we're going to start to see some changes on the horizon. We'll start to see that cold front affect the area. Shower and thunderstorm chances will increase, and 80 degrees will only be the high there on Friday, so really providing some relief, but it's short-lived because look, as we go into the weekend and even into next week, those mid-80s start to dominate. Really nice conditions to end out April here, just absolute gorgeous weather. I hope you can really get out there and enjoy it. We're finishing up our last full week of class here at Florida State. It's our last Tuesday show, and we've got some announcements to make as we're going to send it back to Brittany and Sloan at the desk.
Thanks, Colby, so much. Now, as we end our final Tuesday night of FSU weather, I am the current team leader, and it feels like just yesterday I was on this side getting the clipboard handed to me, and it's been an amazing year. I've learned so much through this program and met the most amazing people, and what we have here at FSU weather is truly really special. So Sloan throughout the year has put in a lot of dedication to this FSU weather program, and she's greatly improved. So I couldn't be any more proud to hand my Tuesday night clipboard to a Sloan Haynes. Thanks, Brittany. Try not to cry. Brittany was my first friend in the major. I was like, feels like yesterday we were in general meteorology and went through the horrors of atmospheric physics together. But I've learned a lot from Brittany, especially in the broadcast field. She's really shaped the career path I want to take throughout my life, and I can't wait to follow her throughout her future endeavors. And I'm truly going to miss her because she's been like an older sister to me in this major. I'm going to be really sad to see you go, but I hope I can have almost as great of an impression as you've had on FSU. I know, I felt I was in the kind of same position too. I had those people I looked up to at FSU weather, so I'm happy that I was the person you looked up to, and I'm so excited to see what you do with FSU weather and being a team leader, being creative, and all the things, all the places you go after that, so I'm really excited. I'm excited for you too. But with Brittany's last week of school, with our final few episodes for the spring semester, we do have some nice weather leading up until Thursday. Unfortunately, those rain chances are going to return, but hopefully they die down next week, so you have a beautiful graduation ceremony. Yeah, that will be important, having nice weather for graduation next Friday. But we do have some rain chances towards the end of the week, and we'll keep you updated on Twitter if you follow us at FSU Weather. And be sure to like us on Facebook. We'll post announcements and graphics on there as well. And also, you can watch us live on YouTube, youtube.com/FSU Weather. If you're watching us right now, thank you. But be sure to follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather. Be sure to send us your pictures. I always say it. We always want to see them, especially with the sunshine out these next few days causing beautiful sunsets. Yes, exactly. We love those pictures. So we'll keep you updated on FSU Weather for those rain chances approaching on Thursday. But for all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Brittany Bowman. And I'm student meteorologist Sloan Haynes. Have a great night.